Hello to all of our listeners. This is our podcast called Your Choice, and I'm Cristina Rutado.
And I'm Angelia Estrada, and today we'll be talking about abortion laws in the United States.
As we all know, there are many debates over abortion laws, and there have been many laws already in place restricting the choice of women to get an abortion or not. Some states prohibit abortions from conception to the first week of embryo's growth, which are states such as Alabama, Louisiana, and Utah. In some states like Georgia, Ohio, and Mississippi, they banned abortions after 6 weeks of the embryo's growth, which is before most women find out they are even pregnant. This takes away the freedom of choice from women to even consider if they want an abortion or not. Even states that are seen to be more liberal have abortion bans, such as states like California and New York, who prohibit abortions after viability, which is the stage at which an embryo can live outside the mother's womb. Now let's hear the opinion of a former social worker on restrictive abortion laws.
As one of the most liberal states in this country, California protects certain rights for women, unlike many other states. So as a woman, I think that rather than imposing bans on abortion, we should have women continue feeling safe and empowered over their own bodies. Consider the fact that the choice to have an abortion later in pregnancy can be due to maternal life endangerment or even barriers to care that cause delays in obtaining an abortion. It's also important to question the concept of viability, as multiple factors play into the determination of viability, including gestational age, fetal weight, and medical interventions available.
Many believe that the United States is a pro-embryo, but they don't see the truth of the U.S. not being pro-baby. In Europe, mothers are given paid maternity leave, universal health care, and support from the government. While in the U.S., programs such as WIC, the Women, Infants, and Children program are presented as wanting to help mothers in need, but don't give the proper support besides nutrition. For example, daycare isn't offered, which doesn't allow mothers to provide a stable income to support their children. Since many women are forced to carry out the pregnancy even though they don't want the baby, they tend to give it up for adoption. This can also take a large toll on the woman emotionally because most believe that abortion is less emotionally scarring than carrying a baby for 9 months just for them to give it up. Once these babies are given up for adoption, they go to a foster family or are adopted by parents. The foster families constantly change until they are permanently adopted. If the child is never adopted, they usually don't have a stable household to live and grow up in, which can develop serious behavior issues that are called survival behaviors. These behaviors are less likable to foster families and lower the child's chance of being permanently adopted. Parents that adopt a baby after birth still have the option to give the baby back and return them to the agency they came from. This then leads to the same traumatizing situations as other children that never got adopted.
Now we go to an interview with someone that has first-hand experience in this field. Can you please tell me your name and occupation?
My name is Maria Hurtado, and I'm a social worker.
Okay, so was there ever a time where you thought foster families were not an affectionate environment?
Well, my experience has been that I don't think I've never been in contact with a family or a foster family that I saw that they were abusing the child, but I have several times seen foster children living in a foster home that I think that they're being fed, they're clean, but I think that they're not being provided with love.
Could you see the effects of this environment on the child?
Yes. It's when I come to visit the child, because that's what I do for a living, and the child has never seen me before, and so I'm a stranger to this child, and it's not normal when I'm walking in the door or I sit down and the child right away gives me their hands because they want me to carry them and hug them and cuddle them. That's not normal. So that's always given me the impression that they have everything except for love.
As we can see so far, not only is the restriction of abortion wrong because it takes away women's rights over their body, but can also place a child into horrible environments that can scar them emotionally and physically. It is also unjust that those who create abortion restriction laws in states like Alabama that are close to eliminating abortion as a whole are all white males who have never been raped or have and don't have the ability to give birth, so they don't understand the process and the mental toll. A woman actually went to these males who voted abortion restrictions into law and asked them some questions.
You know what it's like to be raped?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Do you know what it's like to have a relative commit incest on you?
On me, no, ma'am.
A story of this law that affected a woman, just like many others, was a story that was shown on the ABC 7 News.
Zerlot says she was just 17 when she was raped. She says she was denied an abortion because the law said she was too far along, despite her doctor saying the fetus had a congenital brain defect.
She said, "I know how unfair this must seem to you, and that there's nothing else to be done, that we would have to see it through to the end." And that was it.
The baby was born blind, deaf, intellectually stunted, and living in incredible pain.
I watched for a year as she slowly died in front of me every single day with seizures and unimaginable pain. She passed away when she was 1 year old.
Now we will hear both Christina's and Angelia's opinion on the topic. I believe that women have the say over their own bodies and should not be told by others what to do with it, just as men aren't told. I also believe that it is not up to someone to control others' large, life-changing decisions, because those who create abortion restrictions aren't going to be the ones taking care of the baby for many years to come, both financially and emotionally.
In my own beliefs, women should have the rights and opinions to do what they want to their bodies. No man should make a law for something that they have not experienced. I hope the political leaders in Alabama will give women the right to do what they want to their bodies. Thank you for listening to our podcast, Your Decision.
And remember, you and only you are responsible for your life choices and decisions, which makes this one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind.